Okay, so a lot of you guys asking, dev1ce, what's your take on it? And we have a lot of new viewers. I did it an hour ago, but I'm just gonna do it again for you guys, so you can try to understand different aspects of what's going into a decision like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's break this down. First and foremost, a lot of you guys, hey guys, a lot of you guys are of course sad. It's emotions. It's Counter-Strike. You have your favorite team in Astralis. You have your favorite player, and dev1ce, one of the culture players, one of the franchise players, dare I say it, within Astralis, now leaving the organization. Of course, first and foremost, it sucks. I understand. Now, why would dev1ce do it? That's a lot of you guys coming in and saying, why, Pimp? Why? That's what you're yelling through the chat. The reason, I don't know for sure, but dev1ce do, right? dev1ce is the one guy who can probably attest to it and talk for himself. Now, I can try to give you guys perspective on what could be part of the reason, right? What could be part of the reason? First and foremost, dev1ce as a Counter-Strike player, he's run everything. Just gotta turn it down, Blanco. dev1ce as a Counter-Strike player, he's won everything. There's not what dev1ce hasn't won yet. So, he's won majors, he's won trophies, he's won it all. Alright? If you're dev1ce and you're in Astralis, the one thing you haven't achieved yet, is the solidification of you being the best player in the world. It's always been Saibu, it's always been Simple, those two, Nico for that matter up there, right? dev1ce has always been the third, fourth guy in that rank list. He's probably aware that in Astralis, they have peaked. Like, Astralis are never going to get back to the level where they're unbeatable. They have realized that now. That's never going to be the case again. There's not going to be another Astralis era with this lineup. So if you're dev1ce, you have to consider, okay, I've achieved everything. I won majors, I won Colognes, I won Katowice, I won it all. There's nothing I haven't won yet. But the one thing I haven't achieved is to be the individual best player out there. So he goes to NIP, right? This lineup, without dev1ce in the lineup, or with dev1ce in the lineup, so to speak, the only way NIP even gets competitive, the only way NIP even gets to a point where they can win trophies is by him to be the best player in the world. By him to be set up, to be the star of the team, to be the sole star of the team, where everyone is centered around him. Sort of like Simple and Na'Vi, sort of like Saibu and Vitality. So maybe what dev1ce is thinking here, the trade-off is, instead of winning 5, 6, 7 trophies a year with Astralis, he's now going to win maybe 1 or 2 trophies with NIP, if they perform well, but he has a chance of being crowned the best player in the world if he really puts in the effort to it, and if he really is the star carry performer of NIP. That's one thing that goes into it. Then there's the money aspect. Astralis' contracts were running out at the end of December, right? So at the end of this year, there's 8 months to that. So the sign-on fee dev1ce can ask for right now, he can say, I'm just going to sit out my contract with Astralis. I'm going to wait for that. Then you can buy me, and then you need to pay top dollar for a sign-on fee. It's probably pretty good right now. So Astralis, they're making bank. They're selling a player, 8 months left of the contract, you know, a project within Astralis that is already dead. And then of course, NIP, well, they give him a sign-on fee. So there's a money aspect in this as well. If you're dev1ce, you probably make roughly, and it's not that we have to talk about his economies here, but he probably makes around at least 5 to 7 million Danish crowns a year. So $1 million a year-ish. Sticker money, prize money, salary, sponsor obligations, etc., etc. Around that margin, right? Could be a little more, could be a little less. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. Skin Baron is a safe marketplace where you can purchase your skins. They basically act as a Steam marketplace, just way cheaper due to lower fees. Take this M9 for an example. On the Steam marketplace right now, 530 euros. On Skin Baron, 337. You save more than 150 euros from buying this beautiful knife on Skin Baron. Hit the description link below the channel and get going, boys. Now, signing this new contract with NIP will make him financially sustainable for the rest of his life. It's sort of like what I'm dreaming about with the stream, for an example. And right there, Anna coming in with a resub. Thank you so much for the prime sub. I really appreciate it. Every single sub is one step closer for me to become financially independent, in the sense that my future wife, my future kids, my future family, we don't have to worry about that, right? That is what I work for. That is why I work 10, 12 hours a day. That's part of the reason. Same for dev1ce. He's now put himself in a position where he's been grinding. He's been winning, and now he can sign a big fat contract with NIP, who's paying him top dollar. That's part of it as well. Another aspect, one that I think fills a lot in this decision, one that I think dev1ce cherishes a lot, without knowing, this is my speculation, NIP's situation in Sweden. dev1ce identifies with being in Sweden. He's been living there for 3 or 4 years. dev1ce is a player who speaks Swedish well. dev1ce is a player that wants to stay at home as much as possible. Right? So he now gets to play for NIP. They have Swedish bootcamp facilities. He doesn't have to go to Copenhagen. He gets to feel more home. His girlfriend, Emilia, She's Swedish. A lot of his friends, they're Swedish. He identifies a lot with being in Sweden. That's part of the reasoning as well. Another one is his legacy, right? If dev1ce were to retire in Astralis, people would be, and I hate people who are like this, but people would be like this. dev1ce, he could only win in the Astralis system. He could never go to some other team and do well, because he's just not that good. He only worked in the Sonic Astralis system. I'm on Reddit now typing this down. No, but that would be people's perception, right? There will always be this asterisk to it, that dev1ce can only perform in Astralis, right? Not true, not true. He want to show the rest of the world that he can perform elsewhere, that he can go to a different team, a different club, and be the superstar. Right? So all them Redditors, all them critiques like that, you can relate it to Messi and FC Barcelona. There will always be the little asterisks, not that Messi gives a flying fuck because he's one of the best players, if not the best player of all time. But there will always be this little asterisk to his name that's saying he could only perform in Barcelona. He was nothing without Xavi and Iniesta and Guardiola. Shut the fuck up. He's still the best player out there, right? But what dev1ce is doing right here, he's trying to cement himself. He's trying to pull off a Cristiano Ronaldo. He can go to different clubs and find success. He's a LeBron James, for example. He can go to different franchises and find success. So there's no asterisks. If dev1ce can pull this off, that's a testament to how great of a player he is. So he needs a new channels. As said, dev1ce has won everything. He's won all the majors he needs to win. He's won all the prize money he needs to win. So why not give yourself that channels to continue to be motivated, to continue to improve? I think those are some of the key aspects as to why dev1ce chose to do what he did. Of course, he's going to leave behind Astralis. He's going to leave behind a lot of the Danish fan base and all that kind of stuff. He's still Danish. He's still loved by the Danish people. And it hurts. Trust me, it's going to hurt for dev1ce. But those are some of the reasons as to why he was doing it. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that gave you guys a little bit of perspective on his decision making. I respect the balls on dev1ce to do this. I respect it. I respect it. Did it make sense? Is it explained in a way that makes sense? Bear in mind that when there's, how many people are we right now? 4,700 people on the stream. Bear in mind that 4,000 of you guys, you know, watch Counter-Strike once in a while, but you don't understand Counter-Strike at the highest level because you don't spend 5 hours a day like nerds like me. So it has to be, my analysis has to be at a level where everyone can understand, where everyone gets something out of it, right? So yeah, any questions, anything I didn't cover, chat. Anything you want to know, anything you don't understand, anything you're frustrated about, anything you just, you know, you're sitting back. I know this feeling, right? If you're a fan of someone, I'm a fan of Eden Hazard, for an example. I love Hazard to death, but I'm still a Chelsea fan. Still will be a Chelsea fan. You're sitting back with a feeling. What is that feeling right now? Is that something you guys wanna talk about? Or? Oh, that's a lot of question coming in right here. Just talk about dev1ce for an hour. Well, I won a tournament with dev1ce once when I was the national captain of Danish Counter-Strike national team. Let's see if I can find it on my Instagram. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, by the way, do it, my friends. I'd appreciate it big time. There's going to be a big knife giveaway on my Instagram the upcoming days as well. I posted this picture yesterday. You guys are not liking my pictures the way you should be. Shame on you. Thank you so much for the subs, by the way. Where is it? There we go. There we go. This is me. 5 or 6 years ago, I was the national captain of the Danish national team. We won the European Championship. This is dev1ce and a very young guy, and this is dev1ce, very young as well. You can barely recognize any of us anymore. We've evolved so much. That was the only time I played with dev1ce. And trust me, back then you could see that he was a fantastic Counter-Strike player. He just had talent for the game. He had an understanding for the game that was unheard of. Always a guy you could rely on in clutches as well. He was just good. VTech Kikyo, what's next for Astralis now? I just saw the picture with you, Sip, dev1ce, and dev1ce on Twitter, by the way. Oh yeah, someone pulled that up? Oh yeah, well there you go, yeah. That's kind of cool. But this is the picture, yeah. This is the picture, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is us. This is a guy called Lomme. He was playing back then. Sipnix, dev1ce, dev1ce, me. You can barely recognize us, huh? You can barely recognize us. You can barely recognize us. Araxi, how does this address NIP going on problem with the in-game leading role? Because they obviously have Hampus, but CTR is still calling sometimes. Do they need consistency around a star IVP like dev1ce for him to perform at his peak? That's a good question. That's a very good question, Araxi, and I think that's going to be decided sometime soon. They will probably figure out who's going to be the lead caller. I think Hampus or CTR, for that matter, have to be one of them. I think keeping CTR on the lineup suggests that he has to be the caller. I don't think his productivity outside of him calling is high enough to be a top team, at least not from what I've seen so far. Could be that he's performing much better in practice. We don't really know about that. But yeah, it suggests that he's going to be calling. I think Hampus, individually speaking, can be a good player. Can be a very good player. So you're right. It's something they have to figure out. It's interesting. Insane. But Kane, thank you so much. 5.5k viewers right now, boys. This is a viewer record for April. This is absolutely insane. You guys are absolutely insane. I appreciate that so much. No, CTR's not benched. He hasn't been benched yet. But that's my whole point. That's what you guys have to look out for. That's what you guys have to look out for. CTR for the future. is his productivity on the server, is his fracking ability gonna be good enough for him to stay on the team or not? That's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe NIP is not done. Maybe NIP is not done signing players. If you pull off the move of signing dev1ce, then there's definitely more about it.